Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East West Show. Jack Xiao is hosting with the ICT TV. Yes, every year this time, when it comes to election, though, we get extra busy. We're busy doing what? Not doing nothing, not doing the news. We have no interest in doing the news. What's new? Who kills who? We don't care. We just do care about the area where we believe we can help by playing, by acting as a responsible media. A quote from my boss, Mr. James Su. That said, I mean to push for some hopefuls to go up there to replace those obsolete. I don't say who are bad whatsoever, who is good whatsoever. I'm saying time goes by. All right, good. Right. Today with me is my new friend, a big man that I've been following for a long time. 2 months ago, I called your office. It was not a medley. It's not a melody. It was somebody else. We almost there for making an appointment. Due to time schedule conflict, though, we didn't make it this time, finally. My dear friend, Todd Speezer, County Supervisor of Orange County, former Assemblyman of California, and if you go back, he has a solid foundation in education, and he himself is a business owner, and now ready to fly for a district attorney. Why I'm so interested in district attorney, the position of Orange County, you will know the reason. I'll let you know one by one. So with that as a lead line, welcome, sir.
Jack, thank you so much. So good to be here. Thank you so much.
Very good. All right. And every time when I sit down with a candidate, I ask simply 4 questions. Number 1, who are you? Right. Number 2, what have you done? Right. Number 3, what will you do? Number 4, why you? Those are simple questions.
Versus
right?
you, Jack.
Very good, very good. Those are very simple questions.
Yeah.
But about 99% of my interviewees say, "Oh, they are the most difficult question to answer." Right. So.
Well,
Maybe
let's
we'll
start.
not, right? Or you're a DA, right? All right. District attorney is the district attorney position is a super important position. As we see things pass by, every time when things happen, I keep doing this. I pump my floor like, wow, why things happen like that, such as the Kelly Thomas case, right? So we'll move to that later when we have a chance. So. First, let me start with my first question, sir.
Sure.
Who are you?
You know, I grew up in the area. I went to college at UCLA. I was a high school teacher in the Los Angeles area. I was a police officer for 10 years in the Los Angeles area.
Police officer, yeah.
Yeah, I volunteered as a police officer. I started my career as an attorney, as a prosecutor in the Orange County District Attorney's Office, where I'm running for office. I have dedicated my entire career to public safety. I feel that communities care so much and thrive because the community is safe. And I was a teacher because there's a direct connection between education and how we take care of our young people that also translates into public safety. And then, of course, I'm very concerned about our age population. Seniors we're living longer, and as you get older, you become more vulnerable, and you need to know that your community is safe. What's happening in our county, Los Angeles, but in Orange County in particular, is crime is off the charts. It's out of control. And so I'm running for district attorney because I've been a police officer, I've been a prosecutor, I've been a teacher, and I know that bringing education together with public safety provides a good community foundation to protect our society.
The way I see about your background, you have a very rich experience in everything that might be related to the job of a district attorney. Because without education, you're not looking into a future that is safe, right? Without law enforcement, you're talking about risk right now.
Right.
Without taking care of your folks, your older folks, or homeless folks, whatsoever, right? Those are the important issues at hand, all right? I believe that you answered my 4 questions in one group.
Well, we don't have to make it that easy on me.
way to save time. However, I'll play hardballs
Okay.
right now.
All right.
You stated in your open statement that you will uphold the rule of law. I believe you're not saying that for nothing, right? What do you mean by you believe that you will uphold the rule of law? Are you satisfied with the status quo? Are you not satisfied with the status quo? That must be versus the status quo. That you feel it is important to hold the rule of law.
I look at it maybe a little bit differently. We can talk about the status quo, but I look at the rule of law. So I look at it a little bit differently. I know I can contrast, and I'll do that in a minute, but look, those of us who are born here, we were educated with the United States Constitution. Mm-hmm. And there are certain values and understandings that are embodied in that very, very important document. People come here from all over the world because of that United States Constitution. Mm-hmm. And so irrespective of whether I like the way things are going or not, when you're the district attorney, you have a duty to protect those who you're prosecuting, mm-hmm. and those who are also being victims, who have been hurt mm-hmm. or betrayed mm-hmm. by a defendant or a suspect. Mm-hmm. And I say that for the following reason. The district attorney's job is not to get a conviction. Mm-hmm. The district attorney's job is to do justice. Mm-hmm. And that means in every case. So if somebody is accused of a crime and they're potentially innocent, it's my duty to make sure that the government doesn't come after them and be oppressive because we have so much power. So how you control power is so important. So in states that have communism, for example, people left those countries to come here because they believe and want us to uphold the rule of law.
I'm very familiar with that. Okay, good, very good. That really state your value system,
right?
And your set of mind, though. And I like the uphold word of the rule of law.
Right.
Right, good. Okay, now, in the same statement, though, you also mentioned that you would put people's safety first and work tirelessly to make certain that justice is served. Do you think justice is being served so far with the status quo? Once again, I'm hanging on.
Yeah, now that I will
quo.
definitely contrast my campaign as against my opponent. You know, we live in a county now where crime is out of control. Crime is going up. Homeless are everywhere.
All right.
We have vagrancy. We have homeless people. People are scared. That's not I'm not happy with that. And I will change that. In Orange County, as a county supervisor, the office I hold now, we did not allow the homeless just to live along on the Santa Ana River near the Angel Stadium. We had a homeless encampment. I closed that homeless encampment and put those homeless into services. So
that's exactly I called your office for that beautiful move. Remember, I failed because of the schedule conflict.
But but what we have to understand about homeless is that, again, this is a great country. This is a very prosperous country. And those of us who have done well in this country have a responsibility to help other people. So I really believe that the function of government is to keep people safe and to help people. If people are living on the street, we're not safe and they're not safe. And so we've got to really address homelessness, and we can't let people live on the street because then they break into our homes, they steal our things, and we're subjected to be unsafe.
All right, very good, very good. Homelessness is quite a bigger issue that we would probably do it for a separate segment.
Sure.
Because lots of categories in the whole subject, right? Mm. So I'm only picking one point that justice is served. You want to make sure that justice is served.
But in our county today,
Mm.
justice is not being served.
All right, good.
Not only is public safety jeopardized and crime rates going up, but the public does not have confidence.
I'm not saying that I'm happy that you say justice is not served. I'm saying that I'm happy that you agree with me justice was not served at certain times, such as, you don't mind if I mention some case?
Let's talk about any case you want to talk about.
All right. How about Kelly Thomas' case? In Kelly Thomas' case, of 2012 on the July 5th. I remember the exact date and the time, 7:30 in the evening, when a icon or landmark kind of person, Kelly Thomas, known for lunatic for 25 years, being killed.
Right.
Killed by 6 officers with a bare hand, with about 25 to 40 minutes of torture.
Right.
Until he's dead.
Right.
So, and then later, of course, to my audiences, they might not know the whole thing.
Sure.
Right. And then those officers, 6 of them, the Chinese way is this way. In order to prevent a mistake, though, I use the American way, 6 officers. The Chinese way do, seriously. 6 officers altogether dismissed, no charge of nothing.
Well, no, they were charged.
No.
Some of them were not.
Misconduct.
Right.
No, I'm saying murder.
Correct.
I'm saying murder. Okay,
Right.
so now your comment, please.
My comment's really easy. My opponent, Mr. Rakakis, called a press conference, which he does all the time, and he tries his cases in the media before he goes to a court of law. My job is not to try cases as a district attorney on TV. If you want to do that, go watch a reality show like, Law and Order.
That's not a rule of law.
No, it is a rule of law. Our ethics as prosecutors is not to try our cases before a jury is assembled in a jury room.
Yeah.
Not to do it in the media.
Yeah.
But my opponent took the glove, one of the officer's gloves, slipped it onto his hand, and pretended like he was the officer in front of the media. He tried that case himself. He got a straight not guilty. Those police officers were acquitted by the jury. Okay? 12-0. Straight not guilty. My opponent charged those police officers with murder. You would have to believe, the jury would have to have believed that when the police officers went to the scene, that they intended in their brain, at the time they went there, to kill Kelly Thomas. They didn't intend to kill Kelly Thomas. What happened is when they were trying to control him, they used excessive force. It got out of control, and that is called manslaughter.
All right. Let's take a short moment now. We come back to continue with the discussion of the important case, which I do it only for the purpose to portray this man and his mindset. Because it's his time, his moment of running for election to be recognized what kind of man I am, that kind of thing. For that case, they say it's closed. Okay, come on, close, right? Come on, close, right? So, but it is so valuable now we revisit the case to see your comment on the case, though, how they do it, so that to bring you the qualification of being a DA, fair DA. So we'll be right back, my dear friend. Hello, dear friends, my dear lovely audience, welcome back to the show. My lovely Californians, fellow Californians, if you happen to be in Orange County, though, this is a show you would rather not to miss. This is a show talking about your district attorney, my district attorney, of course, too. Well, with the status quo not being satisfied, we complain here and there every time we can. Now, instead of complain, there is a better way to do. So go ahead, cast your vote. One vote will just make the difference, right? Voting for what? For somebody who is qualified for the job. Now, with me today is the one running for the district attorney. He is the currently supervisor of Orange County, and also he was a previous assembly member of California, a teacher, and police officer, businessman himself. So, welcome.
And prosecutor.
Oh, yeah,
For
sure.
almost 10 years.
Oh, very good. Okay. And welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Jack.
Very good, very good. Now, we're on the Kelly Thomas case.
Right.
Like I said, that's a sample case, right?
That's just one example of the misconduct and misjustice in our county.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly. All right. So lots of people say, hey, how come at any moment that these officers couldn't stop themselves, right? And then if the justice, quote unquote, the justice say, they did it only under certain circumstances, given the circumstances, they had to do so. All right. Now, I would ask, only question I would ask the officer while putting the glove on, say, see this? This will F you.
Right.
That's the quotation, right?
The rest of that statement was, it will F you unless you listen to what I'm saying for you to do.
Yeah.
The
All
DA
right.
never told the public that there was other parts of the statement.
All right, good. So the problem is that justice, to me, to my eye, has never been served. Right, good.
Right.
And I'm using that as a example case to chat with my dear friend. Now that I know that where you stand, allow me a salute.
Oh, that's kind of you. Can we talk about another case?
Okay.
Let's talk about the Seal Beach case.
Okay, Seal Beach, yes.
8 people were killed in cold blood at a salon, a hair salon, in Seal Beach 8 years ago.
Yeah.
In that case, the district attorney was caught cheating, and the district attorney was kicked off that case. The death penalty was being asked for because 8 people were killed in cold blood. Worst mass shooting in all of Orange County history. Do you remember when the last mass shooting was? 7 people were killed at Cal State Fullerton. In Fullerton, almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So in that case, the district attorney cheated, was kicked off the case, and the case was botched. And so the death penalty was taken off the case, and a man who killed 8 people, including his ex-wife, is now going to sit in prison as opposed to going to death row. That's an injustice.
All right. When I started doing my homework, my first sight, when I called on the statement, say that you will make sure justice is being served. And I almost came to so certain that this statement is not made for nothing. Such a strong statement. I believe if you call them victims, I believe every single one of us is a victim of the system that is not being justified. Am I right?
Yeah, it depends on what you're talking about in particular. But as a society, when the district attorney fails, we all fail. Why? Because when the crimes are charged, it's not Todd Spitzer, right, versus Jack Chow. It's not you versus me.
Yes.
It's the people of the state of California. I represent the entire society.
Exactly.
So everybody loses when the district attorney doesn't perform.
Exactly. And that's why we cast our vote for somebody who represent us. On the paper, on the lawsuit paper, you always see people of California, people of whoever versus whoever is the suspect, something like that. We belong to the people. The people being represented by the district attorney. This is a system we wanted to happen. This is a system that works. This is a system that guarantees that justice is being served. In the example cases, both the Seal Beach case and also the salon case, the guy with the ex-wife conflict whatsoever, and also Kelly Thomas case, both the 2 cases, I believe justice was not served.
Right. Terrible.
Has not been served.
Terrible.
All right. With that as a cause, though, people started losing their confidence.
Correct. Right.
Number 1 in the law enforcement. Number 2 with the justice system.
That's right.
And that's exactly what you said in your statement. The next line, which is so important, that we must restore the faith and the trust in our law enforcement and the justice system. How you want to do the job, sir?
How do I want to restore justice? Well, let's remember something. So when a person's accused of a crime and they're charged, they're entitled to a trial, a jury trial of their peers, right? So 12 people go into a jury box in a courtroom. That is how you're going to be judged. If those people don't trust what the police officer says on the stand or what the prosecutor tells them, you're not going to get convictions. Because when I pick juries, when I came to the district attorney's office again after leaving the legislature, when I was picking juries, people say, oh, cops, they all lie. People believe police officers don't tell the truth. So the district attorney has got to make sure that if police officers are caught lying, that they're no longer police officers. They can't be in that profession.
All right.
Go be something else. But if you lie to get convictions or to make an arrest, then you have no business in law enforcement.
Very good. In other words, you still go back to your upholder of rule of law. By rule of law, though, you will make sure the 12 members sits there doing their job to their judgment if there's whoever is lying, whoever is not lying, right?
I want them to have confidence. I want them to
confidence.
walk in and believe that the prosecutor is honest and that the police officers who take the stand and testify are honest. And there's a terrible breakdown in Orange County today where people are not trusting the district attorney because the district attorney has been caught cheating. The district attorney, my opponent, has been caught lying. He's been caught overcharging cases, getting kicked off of cases. He doesn't have the competency.
He's been there for 20 years, right?
20 years. Never a serious challenge.
Two decades already?
2 decades, 5 terms.
How come 20 years, no challenge?
Because it is very difficult in a county of like Orange County, 3.3 million people, to challenge somebody who has the name on the ballot, district attorney, right? They have that title. It takes a lot of money, a lot of support. So I have the endorsement of the crime victims. I have the endorsement of police chiefs. I have the endorsement of the Orange County Register. So the biggest newspaper in Orange County has endorsed me. And what they've said is, we must have change. And what they also said is, Mr. Rackauckus is not capable of running that DA's office any
Tony
longer.
Rackauckus.
Correct. My opponent is no longer capable of running that office.
Any other opponent you're facing?
No. We're in the runoff now. There's only 2 of us.
Only 2 of you.
It's a head-to-head.
Right. Very good, very good.
Right.
And does that position have a term limit?
No term limits.
No term limit.
No,
All right.
because it's because the district attorney and the sheriff of the counties in 58 counties in California were created under the California Constitution. So there's no term limits for that position.
Okay. Right after the Kelly Thomas case, or right after the Seal Beach case, was there a campaign or movement to overthrow or to recall his position because of job failure?
So this is the first election since the Seal Beach case.
All right. Okay. That makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense. That really makes sense because when I look at the county, or Orange County, and I look at that case though, that's why, by the way, I mentioned in the very beginning, the 5th day of a Kelly Thomas case, starting that point on, I've been chasing the case till today.
But on the Seal Beach case, we didn't learn the truth. Remember, even after it took 6 years, so there was an extra election, so I made a mistake, but it took 6 years for that information about the cheating in the Seal Beach case to come out in court. So since that has been exposed, since the DA has been caught cheating, and since he got kicked off the case, this is the first election.
All right, very good, very good. So that's why if I use my own quote, nothing happens for no reason.
Right.
I'm not a philosopher, but I do make philosophies. My philosophy is that nothing happens without no reason, right? So that's why after 20 years, finally, people say, no.
Right.
Let's see some change, right?
Yeah, and what's so exciting is the amount of support I'm getting. I mean, to get the biggest newspaper in Orange County, the Orange County Register, to say, we want change and we're going to support me, Todd Spitzer, that's a phenomenal accomplishment. But I want to emphasize something, Jack, because I think it's important for your viewers to know. This election is not about me. It's about these values we're talking about.
Yeah.
A person just fills an office for a while, and what they do can be very, very important, obviously, right, as a change agent. But it's about the people having a representative who they trust will do justice. And so that's what I want to bring back. I want to bring back honor and integrity to the Orange County District Attorney's Office.
That's a very, very loud statement that I believe that if my audience all hear about it, you will be touched. Somebody running, he's not running for the office, he's running for justice.
Right.
For justice, to bring justice back, to make sure nobody lies, number one. Number two, to make sure no system abuses. All right. Sometimes they really have case unjustly served. And then, such as Kelly Thomas, I believe Mr. Brown Thomas is still doing lawsuits.
So Ron Thomas is Kelly's
Ron Thomas,
father.
yeah.
And Ron endorsed me.
All right.
So Ron,
Okay.
I call Ron Thomas.
Ron Thomas endorsed me.
Kelly's father endorsed me because he knows that his son did not get justice by the man who is presently the district attorney.
He just died for nothing. He just died for nothing. Okay, my dear friends, today it is one of the very rare chance that I sit down with somebody I've been adoring for a long time, Mr. Todd Spicer, and he is the county supervisor. Of course, at the county supervisor position, it is something you can really stay there and enjoy. And yet, he decided not to. He decided to run for the office. Why? Because he has seen enough. He has seen enough to make sure that no, I can't see more, that kind of thing. That's why he said, I'm not running that office because I need an office. No, as a matter of fact, he has one, not a bad one. Well, if you want to trade with me, let's trade. All right, good. All right. He runs for the justice to make sure that justice is back. Nobody lies. No system fails. All right, justice is being served, and then bit by bit, the trust, confidence is being built back on to the law enforcement, to the legal system, to our justice system, and later to the jail system, whatsoever, which we will talk about when we come back right away. Hello, dear friends, my lovely audience. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow on the East West Show with ICT TV. Today is a big day, especially to my folks who are in Orange County. It is an even bigger day because we're talking about your own backyard, right? Your houses, your family, your kids, your wife, your whoever. This relates to you because you're talking about the justice, whether being served in your lovely county, right? Who will secure that? I mean, the guy who takes the district attorney position. He's good, you're good. He's bad, you're unlucky. That's what I say. Now it is the moment, November 6th. Make sure you cast your vote to my friend Todd Spicer, who's got my endorsement already.
Wow,
I, Jack Chow, as a show host, due to the fact with the 2 sample cases testified, I believe that he is the one that worth my endorsement. Of course, my endorsement means nothing, but anyway, I want to express myself.
You're very kind, thank you.
Very good. Now let's talk about once you're in office, you're gonna, the way I see, you're gonna see lots of
right.
humongous challenges, right? Number one, the laws, right? AB 109, Proposition 47, Proposition 57, Proposition all the way down, right? And then you have AB 1810, right? All the way. They all speak for criminals.
They do?
Right? Okay, now, especially AB 1810, when AB 1810 gives every suspect 2-year window, say, you may go home, check with your doctor, and come back to me 2 years later with a piece of paper saying that I, Dr. XYZ, testify that this guy is a lunatic. At the time of committing the crime, he was under influence, so that he is innocent. Right? So now, the other day when I was doing the discussion about the AB 1810, I said, my prediction is that DAs are going to go out of jobs. Nobody's to prosecute. How are you going to handle the huge challenge, sir?
So let's go backwards. Let's start with 1810. The law got amended a little bit to exclude certain very serious crimes, but it's still very problematic. And basically it says, look, if you think you have any mental disorder, you can use that as a defense. Like, let's say drunk driving.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you drink every day and you drink and drive and kill somebody, you have if you go to the psychology manual, right, there's a book that describes every psychological disease. I can find that in there, somebody who drinks excessively. We're going to have to deal with that defense with every single drunk driver in California. Can you believe that? The other things you cited, I want to answer it this way. I'm going to have a full-time prosecutor in Sacramento, representing the Orange County DA's office, representing my administration. I'm a former legislator. These laws that you're talking about are coming from Sacramento. I don't agree with them. So I'm going to be up there every day with my staff, and they're going to be in committees, and they're going to be pulling those bills apart, testifying, and we're going to make sure that these laws are exposed. When I was in the legislature, I stopped the early release of prisoners.
If they ask you why you do that, you tell them, I'm a supervisor.
No, as a district attorney.
I know.
Right.
I used to be a supervisor.
No, I used to be a legislator, right? So I know Sacramento.
You're everything, yes.
Right, so I am not, we are going to be up there fighting every single day. The other thing I'm going to do, prosecutors in our county are very neutered, impotent statewide. Prosecutors don't get engaged politically to effectuate elections, which send some of these knuckleheads to Sacramento that do these terrible laws that hurt our safety. So I'm going to be organizing all the district attorneys in the state of California to form a political action committee, and we're going to raise money, and we're going to get involved in elections. So I'm going to get involved in elections in Stanislaus County, Napa County, Yolo County. We're going to start electing legislators who are going to represent the people in Sacramento.
All right, okay. Once again, you're talking about the root cause.
I'm telling you that we do not need to accept what's happening to us.
Exactly.
And no one's fighting for us,
Jack.
Jack.
Exactly.
Who's fighting for us?
Yes, exactly. Exactly the same when you talk about education. You want to take care of the problem from the root cause, right?
Right.
That I really want my friends, my audiences to listen attentively, that I have to repeat on his behalf, because he wants to make sure, because of the laws, those crazy laws, such as the AB 1810 was given birth to by the legislators. He's going to send somebody to work there in Sacramento to supervise what they do, and then to try to interfere or kill those crazy laws from being made,
in committee. But I will then go out into their communities and organize the people so that the people call those legislators and say, if you support that silly law, AB 1810, we're going to vote you out of office.
All right. I tell you what I did. When I learned about the AB 1810, I called several of the offices of the legislature, the local office. I said, I need to find out who the writer was, who the author was. And none of them, most of them did not reply, did not even care about me. And only a few came back saying, that was a trailer bill.
Right, it was stuck in at the dark of the night.
Right, that's
right.
Well, we were totally benighted. They do this. Let me do to my audience like that. Right. So that's a trailer bill. All right. Now, for those trailer bills, though, for that thing, if really this great man that you're about to cast your vote on, to send somebody over there, working over there, though. In the meantime, he will organize a collaboration with all county district attorneys. Each and everybody send somebody there.
Exactly.
To watch what they do.
That's right.
Right?
That's
all right. They will get deterred. My dear friend, my dear audience, finally I got some answer. Finally I got some solution to the headache that had been bothering me for too long. For that, we deserve a good handshake.
Thank you, sir.
All right, good. So you exactly mentioned something from the very core value, for a very bottom line, though, right? Go. And then if they, for a long time, after the supervision, after the watch, and even checking about their voting record, though. And as a district attorney, how do you want to make sure something such as the gas bill, the gas tax bill, being turned off, being repealed, and you want to motivate something like that to get some of those people in office already out of office?
Right. That's the most beautiful gift that this country gives its citizens is their right to vote, their right to have a say. And what do most people say, right? They get their ballot or they hear about the election and they think, just me, not going to make a difference, right? And they don't show up. Well, do we understand that elections have been decided in Orange County, at least on the Board of Supervisors, with 4 or 5 votes? Hundreds of, it does come down to every vote. And if you believe in the kinds of values I'm talking about and the change I want to see to protect our community, people have to go out and vote for Todd Spitzer. It's critical.
I promise my audiences, my dear friends, sitting on this job, I see all kinds of people. I see all kinds of people. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying that I'm anybody out of the ordinary with the super physical or metaphysical function whatsoever.
But you're a good dresser, Jack.
Thank you very much. But I can tell people to the bottom of their mind. Why? Because I use some examples, right? I use some cases. I use something to test, right? Some agents to test, so that you decide right away, this man is trustworthy, right? I believe whoever created a law saying that to rape a subconscious woman is not a serious rape. You know that quote, right?
Of course I do.
So,
right.
Anybody who said that, if my son says that, I'll give him bang, bang, left and right. I'll offer to go to jail for that.
Right.
All right? Because it's an evil mind that say the evil thing. Right? Sir, we check on you. It's time probably, we're serious. We're getting to the critical moment. We want to be critical, right? I want you to promise the office, promise my audiences in front of the camera that you will not let go anything of anybody who created those laws. To rape a unsubconscious woman is not a serious rape.
Jack, what I want your audience to appreciate and all the people out there is that I have dedicated my entire career. I've prosecuted thousands of cases, the most serious and violent felons. I've prosecuted gang members, and people have gone into banks and robbed banks and into people's homes, tied them up, stolen their money, stolen their possessions. I've had my life threatened as a prosecutor. When I was in the legislature, I created the registry for sex offenders. So now you can go onto the internet to the Attorney General's website and you can see where sex offenders live in your community. That was my law to protect the public. So I get up every single day and I'm ready to fight. Every day. I want people to do the right thing, but there are some people, and I'm one of them, who was born just to protect people. Like, my job is to protect people. And I'm going to do that as long as the public gives me permission to do that.
My dear audience, especially you live in Orange County, I will say you're a bunch of lucky guys. You have somebody, a candidate that hopeful. When I say hopeful, I'm not only saying that he's hopeful to get to the position, I'm saying the hopeful to save Orange County from injustice into justice. My dear friend, let's take a very short moment. We come back to continue to check about how to prevent future crimes. Stay with us. Hello, dear friends, lovely audiences, welcome back to the show. You ladies and gentlemen who happen to be in Orange County, I want you to be aware of the fact that I, Jack Chow, I'm doing you a big favor. Why? Because I help you to shape a candidate into a image that you can totally see him from inside out, right? So it is a time for transparency. It is time for a critical moment to make decisions, because you're about within less than 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah,
you're
2.5 weeks. We're close.
You're about to do.
Or you're voting now.
Yeah,
a lot of people are voting.
Yeah,
now.
you're about to punch holes, right? When you do punch holes, make sure your holes punched with top speaker. Okay. I do that, and by that I mean I endorse him already, and well, they can openly use the endorsement now. Of course, we're talking about what he has been done, and we used some past cases such as the Kelly Thomas case of Fullerton, such as Seal Beach case in the barber salon, right? And now we know where this gentleman stands. And then we're talking about AB 1810 as an example of a bad law, how to prevent that from happening. Luckily, this man has a way to do with it, which is something I never thought of. He is going to send somebody from his office to stay there in Sacramento to watch the day-to-day activities. In the meantime, he will motivate all the county DA office each to send somebody there with the full eyes to watch what they do. Mm-hmm. That's a super. We call it checks and the balance, right?
Well, and also a political action committee. So
Yeah.
if they get out of line,
I love it.
We have money to run candidates against them.
Yeah, sure. I love it. All right, now, okay, next thing to do is talking about the future, right? So in your statement, this is the same statement I'm talking about. By the way, I did quite a amount of homework that as a former high school teacher and a school board trustee and a business owner, you said that I know that solutions to complex crime problems begins by solving critical issues like, number one, homelessness, right? Number two, broken education system, right? Number three, provide job openings for everyone, job opportunities for everyone. So we have only one segment left. I really wish that there are 100 minutes or whatever in an hour though. Okay, now in a compact way, how you want to handle the homelessness problem?
So with the homeless, my responsibility is to help everybody who's living on the street that wants government services. But about half of those people don't want to get off the street. They want to stay on the street. So we're going to arrest those people for violating the law. And then as a district attorney, I'm going to oversee them into the court system, and I'm going to make sure they get a program. And they're going to have a judge, and we're going to monitor them. So that's really important. Kids. I'm going to make sure that every child gets an education and that they go to...
No. So a little bit on the homelessness.
Okay, I thought you
part,
said fast.
No. I know, but I would rather do another show. Okay. So you're so important to me now. You're important to Orange County, where my sister lives. All right. Anyway, now, with the homelessness, though, there are different peoples, right? So to those who will not live,
that's right.
And it's their style. What about what are you going to do with it?
Well, see, but you cannot live on the street lawfully.
Okay, that's a law.
You can't camp. You can't just be a vagrant.
All right.
You got to go somewhere, and you can't just park on a corner.
And that law followed by programs.
Right. So I'm going to take those people and I'm going to give them a choice. You either get into a program to help yourself, or we're going to force a program on you. And if you're not successful, I've got a bed for you, but it's called the Orange County Jail.
I know, but the jail's overcrowded already.
No, not our jails. No, because you talked about AB 109 and Prop 47.
Yes.
Our jail's emptied.
Oh.
Remember, nothing's a crime in California anymore.
They're out already.
They're out.
Man.
They're out. We have all these beds, and they're not being filled because we have all the room because
Very
of those
good,
laws.
very good. You follow the rule. If you do not follow the rule, I have a program for you.
I want to get you
If
out.
the program doesn't work, we'll enforce the program on
right.
you.
Right.
If still that you will not accept, though, I got a bed for you.
I got a
that's
bed.
in Orange County Jail.
That's right, exactly.
All right, quote unquote. Right. I'm going to use that. And you guys remember that. That's the way to tackle the problem to the bottom line. All right, now, why I ask? This early springtime, I heard about the river trail thing.
Right.
They pee, they poo-poo whatsoever along Riverville to a point, plus all kind of ways, they're almost a pandemic, medical pandemic.
Sure, it's
broke
terrible,
out,
yeah,
right?
right.
Or something.
City of Los Angeles is dealing with typhus.
Yeah,
From fleas and rats and
Yes,
and
you're right,
So if you allow the homeless to do that, I don't care if you're in San Diego or Los Angeles, it's going to cause widespread.
It is a very, very
health problems.
head-scratching problem. On one hand, they are human beings.
They're human beings.
But you got to
right?
treat them like human beings, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And on the other hand, they are certain kind of human beings who do not listen.
Right.
Right? And then, as whatever human being, they spread disease. What do you want to do? And then, at the end of the day, they need food. They need a shelter. Altogether, it's a mixed problem. For that, I use that as another example case to check your wisdom.
Sure.
Right. The wisdom is being tested so far. Now we're saying that I got a program for you. Right. Program can be enforced. You still refuse, I got a bed for you.
Right.
And then I'm asking you, the jails are full. Oh, well, you tell me, no longer full.
They're not full.
Because we thanks to AB 109, Proposition 47, AB 57, or 1810 whatsoever, right?
Right.
Anyway, it goes in a cycle. I know, either to laugh or to
Cry.
cry.
We should-
Anyway,
yeah,
right,
cry,
Anyway,
right.
okay, now, to the education. How do you want to prevent such thing happen from the school level?
Because
kid level?
every child should have an opportunity to get an education. In fact, in our country, everybody has to go to school. We have mandatory requirement to attend school. But I used to be a high school teacher in a school in Los Angeles that half the kids dropped out of school. And why? Because it's mostly because of parents not enforcing education at home. Now, the Asian community we know is the opposite. Parents, whether one or two parents, education is understood in Asian communities. It's why people come here from all over the world. The best schools, the best education, best opportunity. So I'm going to completely encourage that model in homes where we don't have parents who are enforcing that kind of wisdom, that education is the key to success.
All right, very good, very good. I know that starting from kid level, though, you're talking about taking taking care of the problem in the long term, right? You're not only talking about it for now, you're talking about it for the future, for the posterity, and stuff like that, right? Anyway, last thing I'm going to check with you. You're saying that to provide job opportunities for everyone, so that you will reduce the chances of crime.
Right, so briefly on that, right now because of AB 109, so it used to be these prisoners would go to state prison. Now we have them in our county jails. We have them for years. We have some people in our county jail for up to 10 years. It used to be you couldn't be in a county jail for more than 1 year.
They make a home there.
Right, but they're just sitting on a bunk. So what are you going to do after 10 years or any number of time incarcerated, and you're in jail that whole time? What are you going to do when you get out? You're going to commit more crime because that's the only way to support yourself. So I'm going to have job training in our jails. We're going to have counseling. We're going to take those individuals and we're going to do what we can to make them productive citizens.
Oh, by the way, let me ask you one thing. This is not a part of the interview, though. Is it against the law to make them work for a few dollars?
It is.
It is against the law?
It is against the law.
Against
you
the law
cannot
to
force
make
you can have voluntary work programs. You cannot force them to work.
I see. Or can you make some lucratives or incentives to make them to
Of
work
course.
for a few dollars?
Right. No. What you do is you tell them, hey, you'll get out a year early if you do your GED. You'll get out a year early if you get in counseling. You'll get out early if you have domestic violence counseling.
Okay.
So you have
That
to
makes sense.
incentivize them with a lesser sentence.
That makes sense. Okay, I like your program. If that is your program already, I support it already, because not only for the money they work when they earn, right, but for the fact they learn some skills.
It's at the end of the day, the amount of money they earn is minuscule.
Oh, yeah,
it's the skills we need to teach
Yeah.
them.
You walk out, there's a cell phone society already. Even a baby can play iPad, and you know nothing about it. Where can you find a job to support
Yeah, what happens
yourself?
when you walk out and 10 years have lapsed? How are you going to keep up with all this technology?
Yeah,
You can't.
Exactly.
Right?
So you think that program will work?
I think it'll work. I think it's going to be beautiful.
Very good.
Look, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And what we have most about us is our pride. And we want to do something productive. And when these guys get arrested and all they do is have a life of crime, they have this code on the street. It's about respect. Well, how do you and I get respect? We try to be good citizens. We try to have a job. We try to hold down a job. We try to provide for our family. If we can take street pride and convert it to job and how you feel about yourself, we're going to make productive citizens.
You're talking about self-confidence. When somebody's self-confidence is broken, everything is broken.
Exactly. And then what do you do when you have no self-esteem?
Yeah.
You beat up people to try to get self-esteem.
Exactly.
And we're going to change all that.
One last thing.
I thought you said that the other question. There was
one last thing. I have so many. All of a sudden, all crashed upon myself. I have only 1.5 minutes. Anyway, so to put everything together to work, though, do you think you have another problem to handle with the 10% of a jail time? They keep on releasing somebody for 6 years. Let's do 6 months. For a week or for 1 month.
That problem is mostly in Los Angeles County with overcrowding, but I don't have an overcrowding problem. So I don't have to release people early in Orange County because we have room in our jails.
You're better off.
Right, we're better off.
All right, very good. Okay, we have 45 minutes seconds left, and I will save that for you. Deliver your message, including your campaign website.
Okay, great.
A way to support, way to donate. And I believe lots of people after this will do something.
Well, let me just shake your hand, and then I'll just talk to the audience.
Sure.
I just want to thank you. I want to thank Jack. I want to thank EDI Media for having me on today. And I'm running for district attorney because I want to make you safe, and I want to improve our society. So you can go to my website, and maybe they can put it on the screen, www, just my name, toddspitzer.com. I would be honored for your support. I'd be honored for your endorsement. I'd be honored for your contributions. Thank you so much. Don't forget to vote on November 6th.
All right. All right. Thank you. That concludes my dear audience. Thank you for watching. We're a little over, but we're happy. And to Todd, thank you very much.
Thanks.
And keep up the good work and keep up the good promises.
Absolutely.